I love it here. Sitting above the city, watching the fog roll in off the sea, shrouding the long boats to the yards. The halyards glistening with dew like spiderwebs after a spring shower. The sounds of the docks muffled, muted, and almost peaceful. Even the cries of the gulls unable to pierce the stillness of the morning. 3 more days until the ships take those seeking glory to the contested lands. To war again. Another link in an unending chain stretching back to the breaking and the coming of the dragons. One of ignorant bliss as the markets teem with merchants hawking their wares, each trying to outdo his neighbor while they all compete with the ringing of hammers, striking anvils as the smiths try to complete last-minute orders. Whether it's a new blade or to fix a rent breastplate, each custom more important than the last as time grows even shorter. The next spent in quiet contemplation by some, anxious anticipation by others, and dreaded acceptance by those who have been there before and somehow made it home to tell the tales in the inns as others bought the drinks in awe of the scars that pay tribute to the history of a people. Lovers, young and old, lying in bed, making promises neither would be able to keep, yet believing the words nonetheless, each holding faith in the other. The last spent in useless pomp, covering the fears of those left behind, with those going to war put on a stoic mask of indifference, hoping others fail to notice the quiver in their voice as they say their farewells. Taking that last longing look towards home, fixing the picture in their mind for the days to come, an image to keep them going, and a reason to return. 3 more days of useless, unmitigated bullshit. None of it worth a damn once the little battle begins and the world turns to blood, shit, and piss. The cries of the fallen paying homage to the victors, the spoils of a war, a land fertilized in the blood of our enemies. A land we will have to fight over again when our enemies return to reclaim what was once theirs. In an unending chain of misery and loss. So why do I go? It is expected of me, and to be truthful, I like it. Pitting myself against the Arthurians and the Tuatha De Danann, hunting each other where they feel the safest, reaping my vengeance on all those who know nothing of sacrifice and loss, while the warriors die to protect them in their ignorance. Again, if I'm to be honest, I wonder if I have ever broken or been broken by this never-ending conflict. I feel nothing watching my brethren as they make ready to go to war. I will spend the next 3 days preparing Thorn for battle, making sure the lashings that hold pony limbs to their riser are tight, that her strings are well waxed for a trip into the swamps of the Tuatha De Danann, that her runes are unblemished, their power untainted and true. I check each arrow for the 100th time, each flower-fletched shaft perfect, the alternating red and black feathers pristine, the black shafts untarnished by a speck of dust, the diamond steel heads razor sharp, able to pierce the stoutest of Arthurian plate. My blades ride my hips, each curved blade loving tended, as yet an unnamed but well-blooded regardless. The notch of battles caressed until the blades are sharp enough to shave with. The Damascus patterns like water over a falls, alive with movement to distract the eye. The silver and gold wire wrapping the handle tight with no hint of unraveling. Dragon claw pommels sharp and strong. My shield, though, is another story. A battered relic of our time in the contested lands, each nick a testament to a battle won. Its paint marred, the brass rim notched times too numerous to count. Only the straps holding it to my arm are new, the last having broken in a battle with an Arthurian shapeshifter, who somehow managed to reach me after taking 3 arrows from Thorn, only to die on my blade, with my shield under her chin propping her up as that bitch's life blood flowed over my hand to the ground, watering yet another hectare of land for a Viking family to till. Perhaps this time the fates will be kind. Those fickle bitches. And let us claim the land we have fought over for the last 4 years. No more war, no more killing. until the next time. Yeah, like fate will give up their favorite chew toy that easily. One can always hope, though, I guess. Until then, all I can do is prepare, get ready to do that which has become my life, to hunt, to instill fear in our enemies when they learn that Nighthawk has returned to the contested lands for another season of killing, to claim more land for my brethren. The waiting is the worst part. Sitting here, brooding while others say their farewell. Watching the smiles and tears in equal measure, the fools not knowing that emotion is the true enemy. Dulling their senses, a distraction none can afford. But not for me. Sitting on the prow of the longboat, scowling at the spectacle, feeling naught but contempt as they make their goodbyes, wanting to be away from it all. As one of the vanguard, those of who go first, and often alone, I long to feel the forest closing in around me as I scout out the territory, hunting the enemy scouting parties before they cross the trail of our warriors, dropping back to the landings once the way has been cleared, guiding the war parties of warriors, arrogant mages, and selfless healers to their glory. Finally, the time has come. The flood tide slacking, falling away to ebb. The long boat pushes away from the dock, dropping into the river's current. The oars slapping the water as we try to find our rhythm after a winter of being iced in. The sails, not yet trimmed, luffing into the light spring breeze, carrying winter's shadows to battle once more. Our prow is pointed into the rising sun. Still a little south of east, Walpurgis night, having not arrived, the Tohahat Dederan, yet to dance around the Beltane fires, the Arthurian preparing for the feast of resurrection, despising the rest of us for our traditions, not seeing how they have perverted the old ways, not remembering what went before, where their rituals began. We ship the oars as we round the headlands of pine and fir, pressed into the sleepy rising hills by the incessant sea winds. The spray crushing the rocks with salt as the gulls hang motionless in the air, the invisible currents holding them aloft effortlessly. Passing Spirit Rock, with its lone pine clinging to her crags, standing in testament to the fortitude needed to continue life in these waters, tortured roots holding against the onslaught of wind and wave, its limbs sculpted by the unforgiving northern weather. We turn our bow on an easterly course, hugging the coast until the bald knob stands 4 points off our port bow before turning southeast into the passage, our nearest enemy just over the horizon to the west. With skill and no small amount of luck, we should be coming about once past the Arthurian outpost to make a landing on the southern coast away from prying eyes. It's no small feat to sail a ship of 60 feet in length and only 15 across or beam through these open waters in spring. Rand and Ager will have their due. Many a hapless warrior has been taken overboard with the canvas when a rogue wave broke over the bow, snapping the mast while the halyards make a tangled mess of the top deck, making footing treacherous. With Sol midway through her daily travels, the steersman brings us to a more southerly course, still keeping the mast below the horizon should anyone be watching from the island off our starboard beam. When Mani begins to chase her sister from the sky, we will turn due west to begin our run into the beach. After what feels like hours, Mani's sliver finally breaches the eastern horizon. Sol has dropped below the western, setting the sky awash in a rich riot of color. It is into this fading grandeur that we set our course, making our final run to the island.